If Pizza Hut can end up in administration because of an HMRC winding up petition, you know the pressure on UK businesses has reached breaking point. Now, the company that ran Pizza Hut's restaurants has gone into administration. There are 68 restaurants, I think, that are closing, another 11 delivery hubs are shutting down, and more than 1,200 jobs are at risk. Now, less than a year ago, this same company bought Pizza Hut out of insolvency. HMRC has pushed it right back in. Now, if a household brand with international backing can't survive HMRC pressure, imagine what that means for other businesses. And the message for UK directors is clear. No one is immune to HMRC action. Now, what's actually happened is HMRC have issued a winding up petition against DC London Pie. That's the basically trading company that bought the brand and the restaurants Pizza Hut last year. Now, immediately they've appointed administrators, and the administrators have lined up a pre-pack sale. They found a brand called Yum Brands, and they have swooped in and they've bought 64 restaurants and they've saved 1,200 jobs. Now, in amongst all that though, they've still closed 11 delivery sites, 68 restaurants are closing, and there'll be about 1,200 staff that are facing redundancy. So why administration? Well, administration was used to sell assets fast and protect what value was left, because without it, the whole chain might have folded. But the trigger wasn't just falling sales alone. It was HMRC taking action for unpaid taxes. And when the taxman petitions to wind you up, the clock stops ticking for absolutely everyone else. Let's talk about what the tipping point was in HMRC's role in this. Well, HMRC they've definitely become the most aggressive creditor these last 12 months. They're chasing £44 billion in unpaid tax. They've hired over 2,400 new staff and given them powers to seize money directly from bank accounts. They're going out taking assets of businesses. And for Pizza Hut, the petition was a final push. It didn't come out of nowhere, okay? They don't file winding up petitions lightly. It means repeated arrears, failed promises to pay, or defaulting on time to pay arrangements. So like, when HMRC petitions, suppliers panic, credit insurers pull cover, landlords get nervous. That chain reaction drains cash instantly, and even a global brand can't survive. I mean, once confidence evaporates in this brand, this company's ability to meet its debts on time, it's over. And that's why proactive communication with the HMRC is critical, because silence will kill a company faster than the debt itself. Now, how many of you out there sat on HMRC arrears thinking that they're not going to act? Like, I promise you, if you are owing the revenue 70, 80, 100,000 pound plus, they will wind you up. If you want some help with your situation, go to the comment section below, click the link, put your details in. One of my team will call you today. No strings, no obligation, just help you understand your options, okay? Let's talk about what actually a pre-pack means, okay? So a pre-pack administration is when a sale of a business or its assets is arranged before the administrators are appointed, and it's completed immediately once they take the appointment. And the idea is it preserves jobs and it preserves value, but it does wipe out unsecured creditors. Now, in Pizza Hut's case, there was a company called Yum Brands, and they've bought the viable restaurants out of administration. And essentially, they've rescued the good bits. They've left the debts behind in the DC London Pie company. It's legal common, and often it's the only way to keep a brand trading. Now, what are the lessons for directors in this? Because guess what? It might be a big company, Pizza Hut, but what happened and what went wrong to them, there are lessons for every business in the UK. Now, if you ever face administration, you've got to remember preparation determines survival. A well-planned pre-pack can save jobs and value. An unplanned collapse leaves chaos and personal exposure. So The threat of winding up petitions should really get your attention. If you are constantly behind with HMRC, if you are failing in your time to pay arrangements, you've got to get advice. The sooner that you get advice, the more options that you've got available. Now, why did Pizza Hut fall back into trouble on listen, it was only bought 12 months ago out of an insolvency. Well, you can look at a number of things, can't you? Rising costs, energy, wages, food inflation. You know, are people, well, I think you can see it in restaurants. People are still spending less on dining out, certainly compared to sort of pre-2020 levels. And what you'll probably not be aware of is there will have been debt from the first rescue. Buying a distressed chain leaves no margin forever. And that's where you've got to be careful as well when you're looking at these pre-packs. A lot of directors want to take some of the debt from the insolvent company and make it right in the new company. And that is a really noble thing to do. But what you've got to be aware of is if you are taking too much debt over to this new venture, the chances are it's going to cripple the new venture. And that definitely happened with this one. Now, restructuring and administration, liquidation, okay, they can all buy you time. But you've got to reach out early. If your cash flow is not improving, HMRC are just going to circle, creditors will circle again. You've got to try and look at this stuff at this stage and go, right, have I got any hope of recovery? Where can I cut costs? Where can I increase revenues? Can I get out of this hole that I have built? Now, here are the lessons that I think anyone can be taken from this issue. Lesson one is you've got to face HMRC early. Time to pay arrangements do work, but they've got to be negotiated properly. And if you ignore them or you sign up to time to pay arrangements and then you don't keep up to date with your current affairs or you fall behind on the agreed payments, HMRC will just come in and wind you up. Lesson two, you've got to protect your cash flow. You've got to cut, if you've got multiple sites or different products, cut loss-making ones. Cut loss-making services fast. Listen, pride kills a lot of businesses more than a bad market. And lesson three, you've got to know what tools you've got available. You know, is it administration? Do you need to put the business into liquidation? Do you need a CVA? These solutions are not failure. Now, sometimes an administration saves what liquidation would destroy. And sometimes a liquidation is a better solution than an administration. But you've got to use them correctly. It's about strategy and you've got to take advice from someone like us and we'll guide you through what the various tools are and what the best options are. Also, you've got to keep your stakeholders updated. That could be landlords, lenders, suppliers. They all hate surprises. Transparency will definitely buy you time. And lesson five, separate you from the company. Directors forget that limited liability protects them only if they act responsibly. Mix finances or delay action and that shield can crack. So, what's the bigger picture here? Well, Pizza Hut's UK's administration isn't just about one brand, it's a symptom. Hospitality margins are vanishing, HMRC enforcement is harsher, pre-packs are becoming the default survival tool. If you are running a business that's struggling with arrears, high costs or fall in demand, this is an early warning sign. Do not wait for HMRC to petition against you, because once that hits, your control is gone. So what's happened? Pizza Hut's gone again. HMRC petitioned. The operator that had Pizza Hut has collapsed. Administrators have stepped in. Young brands have bought the viable parts in a pre-pack deal and got rid of the rest. For the directors, the lesson's crystal clear. You've got to act early. You've got to talk to HMRC. Talk to somebody like me. Don't wait for the petition because by then it's too late. If you're a UK director under HMRC pressure or fearing administration, I want you to contact Director First today. We'll help you negotiate with creditors. will help you understand what risks you've got against yourself personally and help you explore restructuring before you lose control. So, if you've enjoyed this video, I want you to go over there and it's going to tell you everything you need to understand about pre-packs, what they are, what the process is, what are the problems, and you'll watch that video and you'll understand whether a pre-pack admin is suitable for your business.